The Davina and Sabrina Show. The Davina and Sabrina Show. The Davina, Sabrina, Davina, These girls have got a lot of sass, hot topics with a lot of class. The Davina and Sabrina Show. The Davina and Sabrina Show. The Davina, Sabrina, Davina,
Minutes though before we officially start. So Davina, how's your week been?
Ooh, well, this week I have actually had a date.
Girl,
Now,
spill the beans.
a lady doesn't tell too much, but yeah, it was a good one. It was a good one. That's all I'm saying.
That's all you're saying.
Watch this space. But yeah, nice guy. That's all I'm saying.
Fingers
yeah.
crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
You
Yay!
never know. Yeah.
That's good.
But yeah, it was a nice week. At the gym. Went to the gym 5 times this week actually.
Nice.
So just trying to get fit. Birthday coming up and everything, and just be fitter really.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi Naturel, thanks for joining.
Hey Abby, how you doing?
Hey.
So what about you? How's your week been?
My week is the same as every week. Fine, work. Oh my god, I'm sweating though, guys.
Yeah.
Now. Just work. I completed my 14-day detox, which was amazing.
Amazing.
I feel so much better for it. So much so I'll just continue. But in moderation. I'm not going to be as strict with that. But I've just got a lot more creative with my vegan dishes, which is great, and I generally feel better for it. Less bloated, more energy, and then it's just going to kickstart my walks and work my way out back to the fitness I used to do. Hi Candace.
Hey Cans.
So yeah, so it's been fine.
And also follow her personal page. Lots of good recipes. I'm actually following myself, so just check it out. Amazing cook here. Just had a meal.
Mwah. Stop it.
So, but yeah, it's been an interesting week. I don't know if you've all seen, and I'm sure you have seen, Sabrina, Kamala Harris was accepted as the nominee as Vice President of the United States.
Yes.
So that was very good, seeing a woman being put in that position, and a woman of colour as well.
Exactly.
So, yeah, how do you feel about that?
I think it's great. I think it's just showing again the changes, us evolving. I mean, as normal, there's always pros and cons, or should I say positives and negatives being said about it, about her being not black enough, all that nonsense. In my opinion, it's nonsense. It's like, first, she's a woman, she's very well educated, well deserved, and she's a woman of colour as well. Why are people dissecting it to that point? Like, I think Trevor Noah said it rightly so, that what did he mentioned that, you know, when black people of colour are doing something well, then they're not black enough, and then or if they're doing, you know, criminal activities, then they're black enough. Like it's just ridiculous. So just take it. It's great. Like let's amazing. You know, I think, you know, it's a celebration.
What did
really.
you think of her speech? Wasn't it very inspirational?
It was. What did you think of it?
I just like the fact she's come from small means, like her parents, you know, they're immigrants, they've come here and, you know, just succeeded and, you know, educated her, and then she's got to this position. Unfortunately, obviously her parents have passed away, but I'm sure, you know, they'll be looking down and, you know, so proud of her to, you know, from where she's come to now. I just think it's amazing. So, but yeah,
yes,
thumbs up to that.
All right.
So, but yeah, been an eventful week, guys.
It has.
So hope you've all had a good week. How many people have
we've got a few people here. Hi Latifat. Hi Neo Kai. Apologies if I'm not pronouncing it right. So I think we'll just get started.
So guys, welcome to the Davina and
Sabrina Show. Whoop, whoop. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Thank you. Appreciate your support in this. As you can see, Davina's here. We're next to each other, so this is great. So now that, you know, lockdown is somewhat being lifted, we thought we'd give it a go and let's, you know, be in the same room and so forth. So great to have you in my home. Yes. So I hope you enjoyed today's show. As Davina said, so this is our 5th show. And as you know, it is dating in your 20s versus 30s plus.
Ooh. got a lot to say about that.
Yes, exactly. We've got a few people that's going to come on and just talk about their opinion and their experiences, and you know, let's have a conversation. So please, guys, just join in, ask some questions. You can request to come on. If there is enough time, we'll bring you on. If there isn't, then we'll, you know, have you in mind for future shows. But before we start, we'll do the usual disclaimer. So as you know, Davina and myself have created this show alongside our amazing executive producer Candace Kane. Thank you so much, Candace Kane, for helping us this, you know, for this to come alive. So much appreciated. Thank you. We love you,
girl.
So yeah, so this we have a disclaimer each week or every other week, just because we want this to be a safe place for whoever to have a conversation. So, you know, the same rule applies. Any sort of degrading comments about religion, sexual identity, gender, you know, just race and so forth won't be tolerated. So please come with your opinions, absolutely, but be respectful. That's all we ask for. And let's debate. There's nothing wrong with debating, but just to respect. So yay! All right,
So guys, so we are going to have
our first guest.
Let's have a look.
We're going to have on, bear with,
who's in the
so I believe we have someone, right, 1 second.
Let's have a look.
So we have someone called Natalie that's going to come on, but I don't think she's actually come on yet. So yes, Candace rocks.
Yeah.
Hey.
Candace Kane.
Yes, she certainly does. So do we too. Hey.
Let's have a look.
So give it a moment, because what we might have to do then is bring on the second person. Yeah.
Second person. Yeah.
Right. So
Bonnie's on there.
So let's have a look. I'm sure I saw Lloyd on here as well.
On there.
Bear with, guys. We're just scrolling through.
Let's have a look.
Right. Okay, we might have to switch it around then.
We'll have to switch it around, guys.
We're going
to
get...
in the world
That's
of
fine. We can't plan everything.
Yeah.
All right, Bonnie. We're going to have you on first.
Yeah?
All right, so...
Oh, actually, wait. Let's just have a look. We've just had a message from Natalie. Oh, where is she? Oh, no, she's not there. Natalie.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, she's there.
Sorry, Bonnie. We will come back to you, but we're going to bring on life coaching Marisha. So bear with.
There she is. Yeah, she's on.
We're going to have you on first.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah.
Such is life.
Technology, good. Doesn't always work out, but
right,
she's coming on now.
Wait for...
Hey!
How
guys?
Hello!
Hey.
Thank you so much for coming on. Can you hear us okay?
I can hear you.
Fab, and we can hear you clearly as well. So thank you so much for tuning in and being our first guest. Much appreciated. Before we proceed, if you can let us know your name and where you're calling from.
Okay, my name's Natalie and I'm calling from London.
Woo! London in the house.
Hey.
Right, so as you know, the subject matter today is dating in your 20s versus 30 plus. So would like to ask you, what has been your experiences of dating in your 20s in comparison to your 30s, and how has that differed or deferred?
I think in my 20s, I think it was a lot easier. I think guys, no disrespect guys, but I think they just knew how to treat a woman. But now everything seems like it's hard work. And I think, my opinion, I think social media is to blame a little bit. All these dating sites as well is to blame. Because guys have so much choice. There is so much choice. And, you know, you have women on social media, they don't leave anything to the imagination. you know, so they're just, you know, they're just all over the place, really. So, and, you know, when I was in my 20s, we didn't have social media. So, you know, a guy would approach you, you'd talk over the phone. It wasn't all this WhatsApp business, and he will get to know you. You know, it's not like that. You could be arranging a date all over WhatsApp without even talking to the guy.
Crazy.
You know, it's, I'm just really old school and old fashioned, you know. Yeah, so I think social media and all that, yeah, it has changed a lot. It's changed. Yeah,
I agree with you on that, Natalie. I think it actually that there is a lot to be said about that, and what's being put out there, and maybe creating a sort of a full sense of reality. And yeah, so and House Renovation says texting is killing dating. Yeah, the communication is different, so you're having to adapt to that in somewhat. But I mean, hopefully,
COVID is not. You know, everyone.
So do you think
you can have a virtual?
I know exactly. And especially, I guess, what's made it even worse is, you know, in the current climate at the moment, with just the social distancing. So now it's like that is the norm. Okay, you're supposed to do that. So how does one adapt to that? Do you think you've adapted a little bit, or are you still thinking, no, I'm just going to stick to my guns. I'm going to, you know, just try to, you know, find that person the good old-fashioned way, and hoping that it comes to fruition?
I'd rather the old-fashioned way, to be honest. The online stuff is not really for me, and I get bored. I get bored of it. To be honest, I talk a lot, and I'd rather just pick up the phone and we'll have a conversation. You know, all of this texting business, I'm just like, I can't be bothered. Yeah. So yeah, I'm more for the old-fashioned ways, but I know you have to move with the time, and people are busy and they've got like families and stuff, and it might not, you know, people don't have the time to, and this is a problem as well, don't have the time to be on the phone for hours getting to know someone, whereas before we would be on the phone, and we'd be on the phone for hours, like talking to someone and arranging a date and stuff like that. But it's just, yeah, it's just changed. But yeah.
Can I ask a question? Do you feel chivalry is dead, Natalie? Do you feel that whole, you know, the traditional sort of like, you know, man picks you up, that sort of thing, the romance, do you feel that's dead, or
I hope not. But I think it's dying out. It is dying out. Yeah. It really is. But, you know, we can just live in hope, and, you know, maybe there are some like traditional guys out there. But yeah.
Fingers crossed. I'm still hoping there is, because you know, we can't, you know, we have to move with the times, like you said. We have to adapt, but hopefully there's other people that think, you know, the same way we're thinking, that actually we don't want to do it like that. And you know, when you do meet somebody, you know, I guess it's about letting them know maybe earlier on, look, I'm not really a text person, you know, let's have a conversation. And if they're shying away from that, then we know that there might be a little bit of a problem there. But let me ask though, so do you find in your own involvement from your 20s to your 30s that, you know, you've changed in your thought process in terms of, you know, were you, you know, a lot more looking for someone in your 20s and really just, especially as you get to the 30s, thinking, oh my God, I need to find someone now, and got much more relaxed approach now? Or is it the other way around? Do you think the age is really making a decision?
I have children, so I haven't got a desire where I'm like, you know, you have to pick up any old, excuse me, rubbish, because, you know, you're in a rush to have kids, or, you know, so I don't have those type of pressures. But I think as you get older, you know what you want, don't you? And a lot of we're independent. We don't need a man for money. You know, we have our own money. We have our own property. We have our own car. We don't need a man for that, you know. So I think you know what you want. You're more, and you're okay. Well, some women are okay. It's okay to be by yourself. You know, there's nothing wrong with being on your own and waiting for that right person than being with someone and it's the wrong person. You know, just to say, oh, I have a boyfriend or a husband or what have you. You know, there's nothing wrong with being on your own. Yes,
I agree with that. I think there's a great sense of confidence when you're able to just have that relaxed approach and not think, oh my God, I'm getting on with age. Obviously, us as women, you know, there is, I mean, you said you've got a child, but for women who don't have children, you know, perhaps there is that thing, you know, we don't have all the time in the world, the biology clock and so forth, but that can actually really influence your decision, some in a positive way, some in a negative way, where, you know, you're just gonna, like, you're not really seeing things for what they are because you just want that child, and there's nothing wrong with it if that's what you want. But it's nice to know, and it feels good, right? Just feeling at peace, I guess, and just waiting for that time. It's going to happen. It has to happen, right?
It will. It will happen.
Yeah.
King is out there.
It's out there.
Don't force it. I believe it should be natural. Everything should be natural. I think when you force things, you get shit. Like, just don't force it. If it's not meant for you, trust me, it's not meant for you. You know, and you know, everything should just flow naturally. If it just seems too much hard work and everything, it's just not for you. Bye.
Yeah. And I guess that's where maybe age comes in. You're a lot more confident with that and being okay with that. Whereas maybe in the 20s, like, oh my God, you panic a little bit more potentially. I mean, but some people panic a bit later. So can I ask you, Natalie, personally, what are the 3 lessons that you have learned through dating, through your relationship, that you know, you are applying or want to apply moving forward? Top 3 lessons?
Don't lower your standards. Got a certain standard, don't lower it. I think that's 1. 2, go for what you want. You know, if you want a certain man, go for that. If you know, if you feel highly valued and you value yourself, go for that highly valued man. You know, go for him. Don't just go for someone because, oh, he's all right, he's a nice guy. No. There's loads of nice guys out there, you know. And I'd say the 3rd one, God, let me think. Yeah, just take your time as well. Like when you're getting to know someone, there's no rush, and if that person's right for you, that person's right for you, you know. So just take your time, don't rush. And the signs are there, and I think a lot of us women, we ignore the signs. You know when someone's not right, you know, but I think sometimes we force things, but deep down, follow your instincts, you know. That's what I think.
No, love that. That's good. Thank you. Love that. And especially taking your time is definitely the way forward. I mean, things can go real quick if it feels real right, but as long as you've taken your time to really understand it, you've understood yourself, and therefore you can understand the situation better. So thank you so much, Natalie. We will need to go on to our next guest, but really some insightful information you provided and giving your opinion, much appreciated. And Natalie, I understand you do have, you know, some businesses. Is there anything that you want to plug out there before we move on?
I do life coaching, so follow me on Life Coach. Follow me, guys. It's all positive stuff. Yeah, all positive.
Brilliant. Love it. And I'm meeting more and more life coaches. I'm loving that. So well done, and just keep doing the great work you're doing. What we'll do is, you know, over the next couple of days, we'll put your details on our page, and people then can actually look at your page and follow and so forth. Okay?
Thanks so much, Nat.
Take care.
Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.
Much love.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Yes, some really good points there. I love the fact taking the time.
That's what I was
and, you know, just do your thing, and the time will be right, you know, so good. All right.
Right, so who have we got next? Let's have a look. Do we have? So we're gonna bring on Lloyd. Let's have a look. Bring on.
Oh my God, we got filters.
Filters. Oh no!
Have we just applied filters to our face?
Sorry, guys. Oh my God, how do we take it off?
Sorry, this will happen for the live. Can you see filters? Can you see filters?
Sorry, yes.
Oh my God, why do I look like that? Oh, there you go.
Oh God, has that gone back now?
Oh my God, hi. Did you see filters on our face?
No, I didn't see anything.
Oh, was it just on our end? Okay, we're looking at butterflies and all sorts. Sorry.
How are you?
Yeah, not bad.
Thanks so wonderful. Thanks so much for coming on. Do you want to just introduce yourself, say your name, where you're calling from or tuning in from?
Okay, so my name's Lloyd. Some people know me as Lucky Lloyd through my podcast, Strictly for Men. I'm calling I live in East London. Originally from Nigeria, so that's where my parents from
You're
as
in the
well.
house?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So,
yeah, that's about it.
fantastic.
Anyway.
So, thanks so much for coming on today. It's good to get a male perspective. Obviously, we're women and we've had Natalie on before. So, obviously, you know the subject for today, dating in your 20s versus 30 plus. Do you just want to give us a brief sort of explanation on like how you feel your dating life per se has changed in terms of your wants, needs, etc., from your 20s to now, the age you are? Obviously, you don't have to mention your age if you don't want to, but how has it changed from your 20s?
Yeah, so in my 20s, it was for me. It was a very different world because it was like it was about being single wasn't the best position to be those times. Maybe it comes with having a lot of insecurities I had in that time, being a man and not having certain things that I thought I needed to be seen as a man, and there wasn't as much things to entertain you while you're being single as well. So, for example, you got like Netflix and stuff like that. There's so much things you can do by yourself, and you've got dating apps as well that assist with that. So you might want company now and again. So it's when you compare it with the 20s, it's like, yeah, it was just embarrassing to be single. Like I even know some people who would pretend they're in a relationship. They'll just tell people, yeah, I'm seeing someone, but really they're not. But they just wanted to look cool and
What's her
stuff like
name?
that.
You had the story all set up, right?
um, so that was the 20s. In the 30s, it's easier to be by yourself. Like there's so much information out there on how to be by yourself, how to love yourself more. Obviously, as I got older, I became more confident. I saw myself as a man, whereas before I didn't. So that made a big difference. And yeah, there's a lot more things to entertain me as well. Like I don't have to go out. Like the lockdown wasn't that bad. I mean, it was bad because I like to see the sky and stuff. But apart from that, it was like you could stay home, and there's so much you could do, and you don't really need someone there. You don't really need someone. Well, for me, I don't really need someone to love me. So that's how I feel now. Whereas if I get love now, it's like, oh, brilliant, nice. Not, oh, in my 20s it was like, oh my god, why doesn't anyone love me?
Mm. So do you think it's like a bonus now? Like if you, like you're obviously happy within yourself in comparison to your 20s, but having that person to love and get with, that's just a bonus. You don't necessarily need it as much as you wanted in your 20s. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's a bonus, but
Mm.
it comes with um, society issues as well. So yeah, it's a bonus in terms of it's not so hard being single, and if I get in a relationship, it's a bonus. But then what's happened now is everything's kind of flipped. So it was harder to get in a relationship, but once you had one, you knew how to be in one. Now it's easy to get in a relationship, but a lot of people don't know how to be in it. So a lot of
Mm.
relationships, you could get a relationship tomorrow or next week, but it will end probably by the end of the month because we don't understand each other as much. And plus, there's just options, apps, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
So
too much
yeah.
choice. Do you think, like you mentioned, you're from Nigeria originally? Do you feel the cultural side, like from family, that has a pressure as you've gotten older, even as a man? Because obviously, as a woman, they keep on saying, "Oh, your biological clock, tick tick." But as a man, have you felt that pressure in regards to, finding the one, as they say?
Oh, nah. As a man, I've never
Mm.
really got pressure. I think it's about I'll get hints, here and there, like, oh, where's the wife coming, and stuff like that. But it's not a sit down discussion. Like, what are you doing wrong? It was never that deep. So I never ever felt pressured. But in my 20s, I was probably pressuring myself because I saw other people get married, and I thought, oh, that's nice. Saw other people in long-term relationships. I was like, wow, they seem happy, not realizing that, you know, there's more to it than that. And I think a lot of people fell for the trick. Like, people thought that a relationship's a safe haven, like where you get in a relationship and you can relax now. Oh, I'm not single anymore. But not realizing, no, you got to put in twice the work.
Yeah.
Got to work harder to look after it, keep it, and be happy in it as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And do you think, in terms of like the traditional role in regards to like a man being a provider, like in a relationship, do you think your view on that has changed from, like, say, your 20s into your current age now? Do you feel that's changed? You know, in terms of the traditional sort of view, or the man provider, the woman the homemaker sort of thing. Do you think that's changed, or?
I think it's the same, because in my 20s, it wasn't like the way it was during my parents' times, where it was totally different. Like in Nigeria, especially, like you think of, it's male dominated. It's a male dominated country, so you know it's completely normal for a man to provide, and it's easier for a man to get that kind of power and that kind of resource in Nigeria. But whereas here, it's a level playing field. You know, you have to work. You know, you can't just say you're a man and you should get it. You know, and so growing up here, I always thought, oh, okay, so you know, women have rights, so they should work just as much as us. And because I saw it that way, I was like, well, then I don't need to be the provider by myself, because you're working. Like, what's the point of working to not do anything with the money? You know, so I started looking at relationships as a partnership, and I've always looked at it. And when I got into my 30s, I was even more convinced on that, and I realized there's even been a misconception and confusion, because it's like some men are thinking, okay, I want to be a provider, but the women don't want to be the way they used to be. They want to work. So it's like, well, what am I gonna do? Like, obviously back in the day, it was a bit like, our women belong in the kitchen, so it was easy to be a provider, and women will be like, yeah, that's fine. But say that to a woman today, and that's considered an insult. So if I was in the position of wanting to provide, I would find it hard to position myself to be with someone that wants me to provide, because I might be thinking to myself, well, she might see this as an insult, because it's almost like me saying she's not capable of looking after the family. She just belongs in the kitchen.
It's true. It's true. So, did you want to?
Yeah, no, some interesting points there, and I just want to say thank you though, because you've actually really opened up, especially when talking about the 20s, and it's nice to see, you know, just that vulnerability, that openness from you, and I really like that. And it's clear that you've done a lot of soul searching, a lot of figuring it out, and you've, you know, become a lot more confident with you and yourself to be in the position that you are. So I wanted to ask the same question now that I asked Natalie. So what would you say, through your dating relationship history, the top 3 lessons that you've taken and are applying?
Oh, one of the first important ones is communication, because not everything is spoken by words. Like, some things are spoken by action or by a reaction. So it's very important to take note of it, especially if you're in a relationship, because that action or that event that took place, you might have not taken seriously, but maybe 3 years later down the line, your relationship has become trash because of that action you didn't take note of. And so sometimes it's subconscious. No one really does anything to hurt each other, you know. So sometimes it's like something just happens, and you just got to really sit down and find an answer there and then, so it can stay in the past, instead of coming back out the blue. You find yourself arguing, you find yourself having problems. So I think communication is so important, and men and women don't communicate in the same way as well, and we need to understand that, because men women tend to forget that we're quite direct. So if we're upset about something, we'll just say it. We won't say, give hints like, oh, I wonder why you put that on the table. Like we don't do that. But what happens? It becomes an argument. It's like, what do you mean? Why did you say? Why are you talking about the table like that? Are you trying to blame me for it? And he's like, what are you talking about? And then it's just arguing, right?
And it just escalates from there.
Yeah, and it escalates from there. Whereas, and then from a woman's perspective, she'll give that table thing. Oh, I noticed you put that on the table, and we'll just be like, oh yeah, I did put it on the table, and move on. I'm like, you just ignored. She will feel ignored because you didn't think twice about. Hold on, there's a meaning to that. There's a symbol. She's not going to tell me directly, so I have to make her tell me, or try and find out for myself, so I can try and make effort to try and fix that situation. So, yeah, communication was the fattest lesson for that number one. It was the biggest one there. I think number two is, I think it's important to realize that we don't own our partners and our partners don't own us, but you can still enjoy life together. So,
Love that.
because I feel some of us have some narcissistic traits, and if we want our partner to be in a particular way and act in a particular way and do something in a particular way, because then we feel it benefits us later on in that relationship or even now. And I think sometimes happiness comes from you making yourself happy instead of expecting someone else to do it. And we might put a lot of pressure on that person to be like, why are you not being the person that I want you to be? Why are you not doing this? Why are you not doing that? You know what? I'm not happy. And that's a big issue for me, because obviously I'm not telling people how to run their relationships. But for me, I'd be like, okay, this is how you are. And I've obviously accepted it. That's why I'm still here. Because if I didn't accept it, I would have left. So I'm accepting it. So I have no right to be upset because I'm still here, right? So what I will do is, obviously, I'll let the person know what I want, and I'll let them know in a way where it's like, can you do this? And if you can't, all right, it's fine. Maybe, hopefully, you can change your mind. But if you don't do it, it's fine. It doesn't mean I'm going to love you less. Doesn't mean I'm going to judge you. Doesn't mean I'm going to leave you. It just means that's what I want, but you can't give it to me at that point of time. And it's my choice to stay because you can't give it to me. So
Compromise,
I think, yeah,
compromise.
Yeah, even to the point where if you can compromise as well, like that makes a big difference. I think I should put that on free. Compromising, because it falls in line with what I said with two, but that's like the compromising helps support doing things that you don't really want to do, but you're doing it because you feel it will benefit the relationship in the future. So you're like, I don't really want to do this, but if I do this, we could be happier. It could put new spark to the relationship. It might even help us communicate better. We might even become closer. I have to take these things into consideration, even though I don't want to do it. And then I make my decision. Oh, well, you know what? I want this relationship to work, so I'm gonna do it, or I'm gonna do it halfway. So that's when I go to her and we compromise. So I feel like the woman should also do the same thing, and that's how a relationship can last. Doesn't mean it will last forever, because even now there's still going to be new problems that most good relationships can't handle, because we still are we're still on low levels when it comes to learning how to maintain a relationship that to last a lifetime. We still don't know enough. And why? Because the dynamics has changed, because women are more powerful. I mean, they've always been powerful, but I'm talking economically, they're more powerful, so they've got more of a say now. So we need to learn how to work with that dynamic, because I wouldn't say that women shouldn't have rights. Of course they should, but the dynamics has changed, because back in the day things were so simple. You stay in the kitchen, I go to work, you have give birth to kids, I'll bring the bacon, let's just get started. It was simple. Now it's like, I don't belong in the kitchen. No, I want to pay for this. No, I should pay for this. No, what car are you buying? No, who should pick up the kids? Like, there's too much questions, there's too much answers. And then we go on YouTube and someone's telling you, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. And you're like, so No one talks enough about how to be together. It's always talking about yourself. What do you want? What do you want? And I'm not complaining. I like that. But that's the downfall of it. The downfall is, you know, we want what we want, and we become more demanding now. So because we're so demanding, one person can't meet all our demands. It's impossible. And
Would you say
just,
sorry, interrupted. Sorry, go on.
yeah, so as like one person can't meet every demand, but our demands are higher now because of the world we live in.
And that's the difference between the 20s to our 30s then as well.
Yeah.
Would you say there's a power struggle now? Like just how you were saying before that it was simple, women stayed in the kitchen, the man went out to work. Now, because obviously economically women are more stronger and we're at the same level roughly to a certain point as men, there's this power struggle, and sometimes finding our position within a relationship causes the friction which many relationships go through nowadays. Would you say that?
Yeah,
no?
I think I could say that, because like men are powerful, women are powerful, and it's never quite been like that before. So some men don't like that. Like I'm the man, so, you know, we got a lot of alphas. They would just be like, nah, I'm supposed to be in charge. I'm supposed to do this. Why do you have more power than me? They feel emasculated. That's another issue in the relationship. But then I think the biggest problem with that is we lack understanding. So if we understand each other more, women understanding our struggles more, and we understand your struggles more in terms of you've only just started having power, why can't we find a way? Why can't we fit ourselves within that power? And us having power, why can't you fit in our lives as well? This is $1 million question. A lot of people don't really have the answers to it, even now, even though we go on YouTube every day and everyone's telling us stuff. But this is something that is a big problem. And even if you go to work, like even work, they're trying to be a bit more caring in terms of your well-being, but they're not considering your family. They're still just thinking of you because they pay you to do a job, right? So they come to you, how do you feel? How is this? Whatever. But there should be an expert there that should be asking questions like, how does your wife feel? Or do you earn as much as your wife or less than your wife? And there should be advice around that. And again, we don't have none of that. So we're lost, you know?
Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Lloyd, for coming on today. It's amazing to get a male perspective on this subject. Obviously, women here. But thank you so much. Do you want to tell people about your YouTube show before we let you go?
Oh, yeah. So I've got a YouTube channel. It's quite new, but it's called Strictly for Men. And there's a trick within that name. So it doesn't mean that only men can watch it. I put the 4 in there to show that the maximum amount of people that I can have talking on there will be 4 men. So I put that trick in there, but then in a way I kind of wanted, I wanted female listeners, because I wanted them to use that as an avenue to understand us more better, because we're not perfect, we make mistakes. And I think understanding doesn't mean you're condoning stuff. It just means you're understanding, so you can deal with it better. So I think that's all I'm trying to do in my YouTube channel, just to create some sort of understanding, because you might be in a relationship or you could be looking for one. And I think if you just understand us just a little bit better, you might have a better experience with us.
We'll watch it.
Yes. I've watched a few episodes already. Really, really good, guys. We'll put your details on our page. But again, thank you so much for your time, your, the point of view on this subject. And yeah.
Thank you so much. And I'm sure we'll probably have you on board again, because there's so much that we could probably go on about. We need to move on to our next guest, but all the best.
Take care. Much love.
Take care. Thanks for having me.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, good. I really enjoyed
that. Was really good. That was actually very insightful, and it's great to have a man's perspective. So
let's have a look. We've got, we are going to have body.
So we're going to have to make sure. So we've got 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Hello!
Hey! Look at you! Oh, look at you, gorgeous!
You saved the best for last, know, the oldest one in the party here. You want to know what it was like dating your 20s? I don't even remember what I did in my 20s. And then in your 30s, that was kind of a blur. But here I am at 63 years old and loving my life, found the love of my life. And so how can I be a resource to you two beautiful ladies and your wonderful audience? Oh my God, you're amazing.
So do you want to introduce yourself, where you're from and your name and everything?
Okay, wait, check out these Versace sunglasses I got for my
of course.
Aren't these nice?
Yeah, look at the sun and the
So where are you?
The sponsor, I don't know. Okay, so here, I'm Bonnie Griffin. I'm old. I just turned 63, ladies. Woohoo!
Oh, you look
But I
good.
look nice, don't I look nice?
Oh my God, you look amazing.
Yeah.
Everything is
lovely
all natural.
All natural.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, I kind of forgot we were doing this interview today. Otherwise, I would have been in my office with my, vanity lighting and my peach lights and that circular lighting.
Oh, I like you in your natural state. Your natural state's great.
Hello, but anyway, so I'm in the park. We're walking the dog. So here's my beautiful man and our dog, our husky. But this is what to date in your 60s. Oh my God, you guys probably don't even have anybody that's old enough to watch your show that's in their 60s. 30 times 2 or 20 times 3. I don't know, so whatever. But anyway, so.
Okay. Do you want to tell us your name and where you're from?
Where am I from?
I didn't hear, sorry.
Where's my name? Okay. What name do I really want to go by? No, I'm just kidding. Okay.
Yeah, what's your name?
Yeah.
What do you want us to
The wind is going the wrong way. I'm out in the park here. Oh my gosh, I'm having a bad hair day. But anyway, okay, so I'm Bonnie Griffin by a previous marriage. But hopefully that name will be changing in the future.
Is that his name?
You know what I'm saying? But what can I say?
Yes.
But you guys can follow me on Instagram. I think I have more followers than you guys do, but that's okay because maybe my people will follow your people, so that's all good.
Yeah.
It's Bonnie.Griffin1, but I registered the name Still Sexy at 60 because I deal with a life coach. So you had a life coach on there earlier. You know what I love about a life coach, or that is somebody that thinks you're amazing. We all need those women. We need that little tribe that thinks we're amazing. I mean, I think I'm amazing, but not everybody else does. So those people can give you some.
We think you're amazing here.
You know what I'm saying? No, so that's what you need to do. You need to believe in yourself. And you've been asking everybody about all this dating stuff. I mean, I just think you got to be yourself. Just, I mean.
So we've got someone that just said you look absolutely amazing.
Stunning.
I mean,
So
I should have put a filter on here or something. Isn't there
you don't need no filter, honey.
we could do here? I don't know, whatever. But
Love your energy. But tell us.
I will talk about dating as a mature woman. I mean, okay, so
what is your point of view on the subject matter?
really
dating younger, your 20s, 30s, now.
Yeah, what's really great about 50 plus or 60 plus? So, you go online and there's 3 things women lie about. It's their weight, their age, and their hair color. You know what I'm saying?
I love you, Bonnie.
So, after I lied about my age, because I photographed fairly well, I mean, I said I was 51, and I met a guy who was actually my exact same age, and he was amazing, and he asked me what year I graduated. I couldn't do the math fast enough. I'm like, oh, dang it, I wasn't thinking about that question.
Oh, Bonnie, you're giving us all life, man. You're giving us life. Oh my God.
But you know what it is? You just really just enjoy and just enjoy your life, and you have to be you. You know what? At 60 years old, you can only be what God made, right? Okay, you're like,
True.
you can tweak it out a little bit, But the other thing is, I think a woman has to maintain her attractiveness by, girls, you got to hit the gym, and if you got to lose 10 pounds, then by golly, you got to do an ab routine and lose those 10 pounds. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got to be attractive because as you get older, there aren't as many men out there. There aren't as many. I mean, hello, let's face it. The odds go down, right? Hello, you know what I'm saying? I mean, unless you want to date younger men, and I did that a little bit, but it wasn't really that much fun because they can't talk to you about what happened at the YouTube cons. They didn't live the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, you have those similar, likes and hobbies and things like that. And I think you just keep yourself relevant. You exercise, just love your life and love other people. And I think the big thing is, my boyfriend on his Match.com profile. Can we get a sponsor here?
Has it taken it down now, by the way?
Those free ones really don't work. You know what I'm saying? Because the guy that'll show up will be like, really? Did you post your best friend's picture? Because you didn't really look like that photo I saw online. You know what I'm saying? And that's the truth. I didn't want to be catfish. You know what I'm saying? So pay for it. Hello. Oh, But anyway, when they show up, you're like, be joyful and have fun, because like everybody's got a history. I think what's interesting about being in my 60s is like whoever you're going to meet, if you want to meet somebody that's age appropriate, look how many decades they went through. I can't believe I talked about my life like this is what I did in my 20s, this is what I did in my 30s, this is what I did in my 40s. My 50s were like married a couple parents, my kids graduated from college, and here I am 60 years old. I mean, it's
amazing.
It's crazy, right? But I think you have to love people, and you have to be willing to kind of be malleable. You have to, like, you don't have to be right, because you could just have fun and you can laugh and make a joke out of things. I mean, I love Lloyd, but he was a little serious for me. I like to have fun. I like to say I'm a kite. I feel badly because I'm at the park here and there was a really cute little boy flying a kite behind me, but then he took it down, whatever. But I like to say I'm a kite. And if you're with me, you get to fly my kite. I'm going to go this way. I'm going to go that way. But then you can reel me in when you need to reel me in. You know what I'm saying? But I just, girls just got to have fun.
Can I ask a question, Bonnie? Bonnie, do you feel like dating now, obviously I know you've got your partner, but do you feel it's less pressure than in comparison, like your 20s, your 30s? Like, because you're so, you're full of life, you know what you want, and have your children, and do you feel there's less pressure to someone like in their 20s or 30s, like you just know, or 40s? Yeah.
Well, I think I've been on 100 first dates since I got divorced about 5 years ago, and I always said, to women that are dating, don't string a guy along because he's good looking or he drives a nice car, or he makes a lot of money or whatever. Be yourself, because at the end of the day, you got to wake up with that person and just love being with that person. You got to look into their eyes and fall in love every day. You know what I mean? And that's what I do with the guy I found. And it took a while. It took a while to get there. And I just put the blinders on and I said, okay, Lord, I'm not doing a very good job of this by myself. You need to be you need to bring me somebody. And I'm a big believer in manifestation and the power of positivity and joy and energy, and what we give out, we receive. And so just love your life, love yourself, have a great sense of self. You know what I mean? If you wake up in the morning, you go, wow, I look pretty good today. And, but maybe I can look a little better. Well, then hit the gym. You know what I'm saying? Don't have that extra latte. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay. And, no one likes to eat more than I do because I'm a good cook too. So it's just like, oh my goodness, but you just love yourself and love other people, and don't judge people. It's so easy to judge people. But I always say there's 3 sides to a relationship. There's spiritual, there's emotional, and there's physical. And if you don't have all 3 of those aspects, the relationship isn't going to work. It's not going to work. You know what I mean? I mean, we can look at that guy and go, wow, he's really hot. Wow. You know what I mean? And you're like, but maybe you're not on the same plane spiritually. So it's not going to work because you don't have that emotional connection. You know what I mean? And so you've got to have it all. And you need, and the first gal said it best, you really can't settle. Who are these people behind me? It's like, I'm in a park. I'm in a metro park. Hello, y'all. Oh, it's a Boy Scout. Oh, my youngest
We've actually only got a few minutes left.
Boy Scouts, actually. So.
Bonnie, we've actually only got a few minutes left. I wanted to ask a quick question. Have you always been like this, full of energy, full of positivity? I know you said that,
yes,
manifesting is really important. You've always been like that, and
the problem was, here was the problem. I thought I fell in love in my 20s, and we were very unevenly yoked spiritually. and it didn't work. It ended up not working, you know, and because I was a woman of faith, and because I was like, I, I, I tried to make it work. You know what I mean? I tried to put the round peg in the square hole, and I did that for 34 years. And I think my message is, don't do it. Don't do it. Have confidence in yourself. You know, that was the thing about growing up, like being like at the tail end of the baby boomers with my age. You know what I mean? I mean, I really thought, can you guys hear? There's a lot of background music. Are you guys okay? I mean, a lot of chat.
We're going to hear you. Yeah, we can.
Are you guys okay? Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess what was really interesting was, let's go for a walk in the park. Okay. So I guess is, you know what? I wish I always saw myself with a guy, because I enjoy the company of men. I like the romance. I like to kiss. I like the intimacy. You know, I mean, I was kind of a girl's guy. I was a little bit of a jock. I was a little bit of an athlete. I was a ballroom dancer. But you know what? I was always this woman that was kind of raised that, you know, I really could find my Prince Charming. I mean, I fell in love with Disney. I always wanted to be the Cinderella girl, like, oh, where's my Prince Charming? You know what I mean? And I ended up in a relationship that I probably should have left at 29 years old. And I wish I would have had the courage and the sense of self to walk away, but I didn't. And then I stayed there for 34 years. And then I had the courage in my I was 59 years old. And I thought, you know what? I don't want to grow old with this person. I believe in me. I don't think this is my last rodeo. You know what I mean? I think I'm going to go somewhere. You know, I produced a movie. I was the executive producer of a film. You know, my whole background is in media and what have you. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna change it up a little bit, you know. And I wish I had that confidence in my 20s, and I don't know where I lost it along the line, but I guess my message is, don't ever give up on yourself. You know what I mean? Don't ever give up on yourself. I've always been this happy girl. I don't know where it comes. I know it comes from, you know, God. I've always been a strong woman of faith. And I just love everybody. You know, we're all different, you know, race, color, creed, however, you know, gregarious, soft-spoken, however God made you. But I just feel that we can all love each other. And then when I was dating, it was so much fun, because I kind of put the blinders on. I said, Lord, bring me that guy. I don't know what that guy looks like. I mean, I dated all different kinds of guys from all around the world. I mean, I did have fun. But anyway. But I guess at the end of the day, you know, I wanted someone special to grow old with. And it was funny, because this wonderful man that I met, that I'm with right now, I actually lied about my age. And and then when he asked me, like, what year did I graduate, you know, when I mentioned that, I was like, oh, I couldn't do the math fast enough, but he stuck it out with me.
Brilliant.
We have this great relationship, and you know what's making it work is the fact that I don't take myself that seriously. I don't have to be right every day. I mean, I'm like, oh, honey, what can I do for you today? And what I love about the relationship is he lets me be me. If you can find somebody that lets you be you, oh, run with that. Run into that person's arms. You know what I mean? You know, just love yourself enough to know that there is someone out there that will love you for you. Because, you know, I mean, I can be a pistol. So, you know.
Listen, you've been amazing. I think we need to definitely bring you back on, because we're going to come to the end in a moment. Yeah. And actually, I think we just need just you in one show. Yeah. We'll definitely keep in contact. Thank you so much. People loved your energy, by the way. Stay there, amazing happy, comments. Keep the faith. And I want to hear, you know, the romance with your guys. So we'll keep in touch, and we'll probably be in LA next year. So we'll come see you
next year. We're there, cocktails.
I love y'all, and I can't wait to see you in person.
Much love.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, Bonnie.
Bye. Thank you.
Oh wow,
beautiful, man.
That was amazing. So we don't actually have long left to go. I think probably a minute.
So what was I going to say? So the next show will be on the 6th of September. Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in today. All your comments, all the speakers, people have given their opinion, their experiences. Thank you so much. Would you like to?
Yeah, thank you so much. And you know what? I think the key with this is that, you know, age does certainly play an influence in your relationship, your choices and so forth. But it looks like the general consensus is, look, just be you, get the confidence, be at peace with where you're at. And you know what? It will happen within the time that it's supposed to happen. So, you know, don't just put yourself in a situation for the sake of, don't be scared to be alone. That fear in itself will cause you problems. You'll end up being in a relationship that, you know, yeah, you can learn from, you know, because everything's a learning lesson. But that you might just be happy. Let's be like Bonnie. I love it. We need to bring her back on. And everyone else as well. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the 6th of September.
Please DM us with any ideas for the next show. Thoughts will be greatly appreciated. And yeah, thanks again, guys, and look forward to seeing you on the 6th of September.
Thank you all for joining.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye. Yeah,
bye.
Right on time. It's going to cut out in a minute. Woo! Woo! All right, should we play some music for the last little bit? Okay, let's have a little. Guys, we've got 19, 18 seconds.
Oh my gosh. Can I even open up my phone?
Let's do it. Have a little dance if we can. Oh gosh.
Maybe we just do thing again. Yeah. No, I'm already. Hey.